Part 42. Pokemon's Character Master. Author, Ai Ren Huoqiang Xiao. Chapter 429. The entire rescue was not only on the front line of the camp, but also on the campus of Fudan Elf University, which was also a logistics camp for the rescue. When Yang Yu returned to the hotel where he stayed for the national competition, Wenren Fangchen and Hong Kong were also busy with matters in the Chunlin River Elf Secret Realm. Dolly, Transportation Company. When Yang Yu saw a whole convoy driving out of the campus, he couldn't help but be stunned when he looked at the company name on the transport vehicle. Yang Yu, what's wrong? You are helping on the rescue front line. Hey, we are not idle at school. We have been helping to transport supplies. The Koda duck next to Hong Kong was still holding a handful of gauze, although Kodakya doesn't know why he is holding this gauze, but if he doesn't hold it, it seems that it will fall to the ground. Quack. It's nothing, I just saw a few familiar words. Yang Yu shook his head. He remembered the pearl forest he passed through when he came from the direction of Hangzhou to the Magic City. A powerful bodyguard group. Is that the name? The one I saw you staring at just now. Are you talking about the transportation convoy, right? That Dolly Transportation Company, hey, that's an easy to remember name, is going to Chunlin River to deliver supplies, Hong Kong said with a smile. Oh. So that's it? Yang Yu suddenly realized, then glanced at Hong Kong's side. Where's Lao Wen, where have they gone? He is helping with the Elf Alliance. With Yongjira here, he can save a lot of time by using teleportation. How have your games been these past few rounds? Look at me like this, do I look like a winner or a loser? Speaking of this, Hong Kong immediately puffed up his chest. Looks like someone who was eliminated, Yang Yu laughed. You, I won anyway, but you dare to say that I was eliminated. Hong Kong pushed Yang Yu on the shoulder hard. Okay, there aren't many people left now, are there? In the individual competition, there are still about 500 people left. How is Gao Mao? Didn't Gao Mao come back with you? Hong Kong frowned and asked. The military camp is stationed over there. Gao Mao has a much greater responsibility than us now. By the way, Gao Mao's little Kirby has evolved, Yang Yu added. Evolved? Damn it! Isn't that? Hong Kong's eyes widened. It's a Kirby that can swim, and it also has a swimming posture with spiral arms that inherits the function of Little Top Hat's Hot Wheels. It's as fast as a rocket. I wonder if you're afraid of it? Speaking of this, Yang Yu almost lost his mind. Kirby's Hot Wheels are different from Top Hat's. The splash that Kirby makes is like surfing. Even Top Hat that evolves into a stinging jellyfish has to be inferior in terms of the size of the splash. 6666, Hong Kong lost his temper. Although he has never seen a tall Kirby beast, Hong Kong imagined the scene in his mind and swung his thick arms like Hot Wheels. Who the hell could withstand the impact of this flesh bomb? Today the opponents for the next round will be drawn, and I will be on stage to do some activities soon. Yang Yu patted Hong Kong on the shoulder. Look at what I'm doing. Are you thinking about how to eliminate me in the next round? You pervert. Hong Kong suddenly took a step back and hugged Kodakya's head tightly. Quack. From Kodakya's slightly frowning brow. It seems like something is wrong. There are more than 500 people in this huge crowd. If you draw lots and draw me, Hong Kong, then your luck will be unmatched. Yang Yu patted Hong Kong on the shoulder and raised his eyebrows. What is this? Why does this image? It looks like this Gyarados is using an electric move, 100,000 volts. In Lily Sakura's hand, there was an additional video file from Sato Fuji. The scene shown in the video file was exactly the scene of the Salted Fish King spitting out a beam of electric light in the air. This is electricity, yes, but how did this Gyarados master the technique of using 100,000 volts? His breath must be charging the dam, but this This is too scary. This thick electric light shocked Lily Sakura deeply. Teacher must be told that Yang Yajun's strength needs to be re-evaluated, as Gyarados, who can use the 100,000 volt move, is likely to become a powerful opponent in the World Masters. Lily Sakura's figure immediately disappeared from the spot, but there was still a piece of falling cherry blossoms in the sky. Slowly, finally, he landed quietly on the ground. In this year's individual competition, you may have to face an unreasonable opponent. It's very likely that you will lose if you meet him. Only at the Hongxia Dam site can you understand how terrifying that light beam was. This year, the organizers of Fudan Elf University will definitely give out elf eggs as rewards in the competition. Although it is not clear yet what kind of elf eggs they will give out, it is best not to meet that person in advance. After returning from the rescue, Yang Yu's salted fish king has spread among this group of promoted students. Yang Yu has a Gyarados that can spit out a beam of light of 100,000 volts. This is no secret to these elite college student trainers, but when he thinks of that scene, everyone will feel shocked from the bottom of their hearts. Under the holy light, everyone is an ant. Most players don't want to meet Yang Yu early in the individual competition, except for a few of them. Fudan Elf University will soon announce the specific rewards for this year's individual competition. In addition to the fixed elf coins and the qualifications to enter the secret realm, the most important thing is Fudan Elf University's most famous elf egg. If the elf in the elf egg is too good to refuse, don't let me meet Yang Yu in advance. Then Gyarados is unreasonable at all. Now that I have learned 100,000 volts, I don't know what to do anymore. Beat. I definitely don't want to meet him. I feel like I don't even want to meet Hangdian's Yang Yu when I meet Luo Feng from Hangzhou. What a coincidence, I thought so too. Ha ha ha, +1 +1, Luo Feng's Gyarados, I feel like I can still go up and fight a dozen of them. That Yang Yu's Gyarados, forget it, it feels like it can knock me out. Captain Luo, what's wrong with you? Captain Luo, don't be angry, Captain Luo. Luo Feng felt like he was about to explode with anger. Although he admitted that his Gyarados was not as good as Yang Yu's Gyarados, you people, look down on me, Luo Feng, too much, right? I already used Gyarados last year to make you scream, but this year. Luo Feng suddenly remembered the fact that there seemed to be many people who had made the elf learn electric tricks specifically to target his Gyarados. Thinking of this, Luo Feng felt that he couldn't bear it. His Gyarados is not Yang Yu's giant Gyarados that casually resists thunder. However, Luo Feng would not have thought that Yang Yu's giant Gyarados, Salted Fish King, had a characteristic electricity storage that only a few people knew about. Wu Yuqian would not tell the secret to others casually. Since Yang Yu chose to tell him, as Qian's fellow student at Qingyun University, Wu Yuqian had to keep the secret. This secret could sometimes bring him unexpected happiness. Do you still think about junior brother Den Han's giant Gyarados? Eat shit if you want. Ha 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 ha. Yang Yu, I want to learn Tornado Charging Tornado. Luo Feng wanted to find Coach Yang for special training immediately. Reveal these 3 elf eggs. These are the 3 best elf eggs so far. Yes, Principal. The initial forms of the elves represented by these 3 elf eggs are Roundland Shark, Tijipai, as well as Lucario. I've been looking for 3 elves for a long time, please vote. Pokemon's Character Master. Author, AI Ren Huoqiang Xiao. Chapter 430. Roundland Shark. Tijipai. Ryalu. The initial elves represented by the 3 elf eggs caused a feverish discussion among all the contestants. The Roundland Shark elf egg was brought back by the Fudan Elf University team from the Northwest Desert. The upper limit of the elf itself is very high. If you bite the land shark, it will bite the land shark. It has both dragon and ground elements. An attribute spirit with terrifyingly strong physical attack capabilities. Tijipai is not bad, and the attributes of fairies can give Tijipai a lot of bonus points. While Tijipai is also very rare. Look, among so many players, only Yanjing University there's one over there. Then I said there is no one in the round land shark. You really don't know, or you don't know, Zhang Kaixiang from Qingjing has one like this, but he has never used it. Anyway, if I had to choose, I would definitely choose Yuanlu shark. Tijipai, you are such a cute little elf. I am willing to hold him in my arms every day. If you are a macho man, choose Ryalu. The evolved Lucario is so strong and fierce. A macho man must have a little elf. The appearance of 3 elf eggs undoubtedly ignited the fierce struggle in the individual competition. The elf egg rewards of Fudan Elf University are famous both in the country and even in the entire elf world. The foreign trainers who came to China in advance to learn about the strength of the young players suddenly became red-eyed after seeing the elf egg rewards officially announced by the competition. No matter which one of the 3 elves you get, it will be of extraordinary help in your journey as a trainer. The value of the elf eggs cultivated by Fudan Elf University is absolutely immeasurable. Just when everyone was showing great enthusiasm for the 3 elf eggs, Yang was different. Little Dream Demon, let me take a look at it again, just take a look. A wall of little dream monsters appeared in front of Yang Yu. The shadow illusions cast by the shadow clone's moves directly blocked Yang Yu's sight, making him unable to even look at it. He sat blankly on the seat aside, drinking tea, watching the little fish drink moo milk, and then, looking at Yang Yu's sight blocked by the little dream demon, he scratched the round back of his head. Yeah. Yang Yu really wanted to see what the elf egg looked like on the official website of the national competition, but the little dream demon suddenly blocked his view with his shadow clone, preventing him from seeing it. He was very curious about the difference between the elf eggs cultivated by Fudan Elf University and those on the market. Especially the shells of these 3 elf eggs, dragon and ground type, fairy type, steel, and the fighting type should be very different in appearance alone. But, the little dream demon doesn't allow it. The little dream demon appeared in front of Yang Yu with a pouted mouth, a downcast expression, and a face full of grievances, as if he was about to cry if he was not careful. There are also shadow illusions. It seems that if you really start crying, you will probably shed a river of tears in grievance, right? Yang Yu blinked. How about if you have a chance, how about choosing a good friend for the little dream demon to play with? Of course, our goal is to win the individual championship. The champion will be rewarded with 30 million elf coins. In addition to the 30 million elf coins reward, elf eggs are also included. Yang Yu felt that he had to enlighten the little dream demon. However, probably only Yang Yu can describe the reward of the elf egg as a bonus, right? Compared to 30 million elf coins, which of the other players does not value the elf egg reward more? It's like a lottery. If you draw a certain amount of points, you will be given some gifts. If someone insists on giving it to you, you have to accept it, right? Yang Yu changed the terminology to some terminology about the game. This is really a lot of painstaking work. The little dream demon cried and Kinking's face suddenly froze. Speaking of this, it is very experienced. When it was with Master Gengui in the Meteor Forest, Master Gengui played the role of Lao Huidi and the little dream demon played the role of Lao Huidi. Little Casey, Lao Huidi and Little Casey's Lucky Shop drew elves and so on, but don't play it too easily, in other people's dreams, it scared a lot of people. The little dream demon nodded his head. Yang Yu breathed a sigh of relief in his heart and looked happy. It would be good if he could communicate. Yang Yu was also very clear about the little dream demon's worry. After having the elf egg, would Yang Yu be distracted and would he only remember the elf? I don't remember little dream demon anymore. If Yang Yu spends money to buy elf eggs, little dream demon will definitely refuse, because if it costs money to buy elf eggs, he might as well recharge and deduct coins for little dream demon. But the current situation is, if you win the championship, the elf eggs will be given for free. Yeah, this is free. For a moment, the little dream demon felt a little entangled. That. Yang Yu saw the way the little dream demon lowered his head and picked at his hands, and knew that his words had an effect, so he struck while the iron was hot. The little dream demon can also help bring the elf eggs. After the little elf hatches, he can still interact with the little dream demon. Let's play together, little one, we have a companion. The little dream demon pouted, with a bit of reluctance and a bit of expectation, but. The little dream demon immediately raised a little finger and looked at Yang Yu very seriously. Then, just ask for one elf egg. Only one is allowed, no more is allowed. Don't worry, if you have to choose among the 3 elf eggs, you can only choose one. Yang Yu spoke softly, as if coaxing a little girl. However, what Yang Yu said is right. If you get the top 3 in the individual competition, you can only choose one of the 3 elf eggs to take away. The little dream demon's little finger moved a little closer to Yang Yu's eyes. Pull hook. Yeah. The dull eyes showed full of nostalgia. Looking at Yang Yu and little dream demon's hook, he took a sip of tea, closed his eyes, with a happy smile on his face, and began to recall the happy times in Ocean Park. Little dream demon, can you give me Kong now? There were fewer and fewer shadow illusions blocking his vision, and more elf egg scenes could be seen in front of Yang Yu. The dark blue and brown elf egg belongs to the round land shark. The bright white, light yellow, and red and blue triangle-shaped elf egg belongs to Tijipai. The silvery and dark brown elf egg was undoubtedly Ryalu's. These elf eggs look very nice, I really want to have them all. The next second, Yang Yu suddenly felt that his throat was immediately blocked. Because the picture in front of me was blocked by black again. The little dream demon has a small notebook in her hand. Master, you bad guy, if you say that, go ahead and lie to ghosts. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Pokemon's Character Master. Author, AI Ren Huoqiang Xiao. Chapter 431. My luck in this round of drawing is really not good, I feel like it's getting colder already. How many first-year trainers are there in total? It's already amazing to be able to get to this point. Besides, are you any worse off than that Zheng Pengfei? As soon as you get matched, you will be matched with that old demon Yang. Who? Which old demon Yang? That's it? He claimed to be Han Li from Qingyun University, but he turned out to be Yang Yu from Hangzhou Dian. Did you see that dream monster? That's the guy, he's right. Hey, you didn't know, right? A female teacher at Qingyun University even cried to the Elf Alliance. It's so miserable. Then why is it called Lao Mo? The Devil's Calculator. Yang Yu's first battle ended peacefully amid vigorous discussion. Zheng Pengfei played very hard, but hard work alone was not enough. Since the opponent did not admit defeat, Yang Yu would naturally give his opponent enough respect. Yang Yu directly let Xiao Baobao push away Zheng Pengfei. Whether it is a pool venue or a replaced rock venue, Zheng Pengfei has reached the limit of what he can do. I will continue to work hard next year, Zheng Pengfei could only comfort himself in this way. Come on, I hope I can meet you again next year, Yang Yu comforted Zheng Pengfei when they shook hands. Zheng Pengfei was so frightened that he ran out of the venue. What the hell do I want to meet you next year? Yang Yu was stunned and glanced at the referee. Did I say something wrong? Probably, he may not want to meet you in the individual competition next year. The referee pondered for a while and gave a very pertinent answer. Phew, easily promoted. Congratulations. Yang Yu's first round match ended, and there was another match between Hong Kong and Wen Ren Fang Chen later. Yang Yu and the other three sat down at the edge of the stands at the battle venue. Hey, Lao Yang, Lao Wen, does this person on stage look familiar? Hong Kong pointed at a new contestant on the stage. It seems a bit, Yang Yu nodded. It's the one I met when we were competing in the ring at Media Asia Dojo, Wenren Fang Chen said. Hey, the little dream demon recognized him immediately. Not only did he know this person, he had also beaten him before. Yang Yu remembered, is he the trainer Heracross? This man is actually rolling up his sleeves. Now I recognize him. After all, he is a muscular man. He seems to like fighting elves. My friend, before the elf battle begins, I would like to ask you, if you were asked to choose those 3 elf eggs, which one would you choose? A strange scene appeared in the battlefield. Men Nan, who was on the field, asked his opponent a question that had nothing to do with the elf battle before the official game. Yuan Lu Shark, Men Nan's opponent Chen Qinggui was stunned. Looking at this rather strong opponent, he was afraid that, he had well-developed limbs and a simple mind. Why would you ask this question in a competition? Damn it, it's actually the Yuan Lu Shark party. Look at the trick, heretic, Men Nan snorted like a bull, then took out a pokeball from his right pocket. I'm sick. Chen Qinggui couldn't help but shook his head. What kind of mess is this person? Why are you asking this irrelevant question before the game? After asking the question, you still talk about the round land shark party. Is this person a shadow party? Go, Rumblestone. Long. Go, Kalam, beat him. Yoga. A humanoid elf named Karam appeared on the battlefield. Its thin limbs and gentle feet seemed to be dancing with an incredible gentle power. What kind of elf is this? Chen Qinggui frowned. The world of elves is so big that although Chen Qinggui can name most of the elves, he has seen some elves that are not common in China for the first time. Men Nan's Karam, his father bought it from the Thai area at a huge price. It has dual attributes of fighting and superpowers. Even a flying elf will easily suffer a loss when dealing with it, at this time. Zhang Meng from Xianan, who was familiar with Men Nan, shook his head. If you disagree with me, I'll throw you away Ram. This is Men Nan's ace elf. Generally, you won't use it first. Is it because that person's answer just now made Men Nan angry? Yanjing Cai Swanyi's eyes widened. Is there anyone so good these days? Men Nan will definitely choose Ryalu. Although I don't know if he will have a chance to enter the top 3 in the individual competition, but if he has to choose, he will definitely be Ryalu. Here, Men Nan didn't want to talk to his opponent, so he threw a carom at his opponent. Yang Yu carefully watched the battle situation on the scene. An elf with dual fighting and superpowers like carom is very rare in China. It is like a marsupial that is common in Australia but rare in China. This is a regional elf that often lives in the country. In the Thai area, it is a representative elf from Thailand. What are the characteristics of carom? I don't know what kind of elf this opponent is. I think Chen Qinggui will make people stupid, Hong Kong asked. The power of yoga, this characteristic is very special and really scary, Wen Fang Chen said in a deep voice. He was still very knowledgeable about some information about elves. The power of attack moves is doubled. Although it is recorded in the Elf Alliance the physical attack value is not high, but because of the characteristics of the power of yoga. Long Stone has lost. Yang Yu noticed with sharp eyes that Men Nan, who had been defeated by the little dream demon using Heracross before, was now using this carom. His moves were very subtle. It's like, seeing through the attack of Rumblestone in advance, using the opponent's close proximity to close the distance between each other, dodging the opponent's moves, and at the same time performing a powerful flying knee kick. Boom! In the field, Long Stone was directly kicked into the ground of the field, creating a big hole for no reason. What? Chen Qinggui's pupils shrank. How is this possible? Even if Longian couldn't resist the opponent's attack, with its own weight, how could it be that it was knocked into the ground by a single blow? It's a yoga pose. At the end of each move, using a yoga pose can not only calm the heart rate and buffer the impact damage of the feedback, but also increase one's attack power. When Renfang Chen couldn't help shouting. Like when Renfang Chen, he saw the end of this Karam's extraordinary moves, and Hang Zhang Wan Yukian. Captain Luo, this Mennan's Karam is weird. He looks gentle in his posture, but the power of that kick just exploded in an instant. It is estimated that even the water arrow turtle using the iron wall will have a hard time blocking it, Wang Yukian analyzed calmly. It must be Mennan, a martial artist from Guangdong province. His Karam has been hidden for a long time. I didn't expect that he would no longer keep a low profile in this fight. Luo Feng smiled, this guy can really ren, he is indeed a fighter, he has learned so many endurance moves so well. Use changing moves to reduce the rebound damage caused by some more powerful moves. This yoga pose is scarier than imagined. It's scary to others, Yang Yu, but it's easy for you to deal with it. Just don't fight a protracted battle. Kalam's yoga posture needs time to adjust. The more difficult the game, the harder it is for such an elf, the more advantageous it is. When Renfang Chen smiled. Oh. If you really encounter it, think of a way to give it a shot. Pokemon's Character Master. Author, AI Ren Huo Chiang Xiao. Chapter 432. Will you get stronger as you fight? Yang Yu watched Mennan's entire elf battle. From the moment Kalam appeared on the stage, the initiative in the game fell into Mennan's hands. After the game ended, most of the people in the audience were discussing Karam's performance, as if a super powerful elf suddenly appeared, attracting the attention of many people. This person doesn't seem to have any outstanding performance in the team competition. Hong Kong picked up Kodakya from the ground. Quack, Kodakya hugged his head, with great doubts in his blank eyes. The team competition still has some requirements for elf attributes. Flying, super, and water are all advantageous in the forest. The fighting type doesn't seem to work when Renfang Chen explained. His Karam is a bit interesting. Yang Yu saw a possibility from this battle between elves. Of course, it's just a possibility at the moment. After Kalam defeated his opponent, his combat effectiveness increased visibly. For example, the power of his moves and the damage caused to the field became more and more obvious. Even in the end, it was not just a pit, but a pit. Cracks in the ground. This kind of battle is a bit like a hidden characteristic, and it is a hidden characteristic related to Salted Fish King and Xiao Baobao, overconfidence. In the game, the hidden characteristic of overconfidence can increase one level of attack power after defeating an opponent, which is equivalent to the physical attack improvement effect of Dragon Dance. In the elf world, this feature does not have a fixed increase like in the game, but this hidden feature is very scary, even so scary that the entire Elf Alliance has certain restrictions on such elves. According to the records of the Chinese Elf Alliance, there was a battle between the dragon messenger Xiazhepeng and the Dragon King of the West. The blood-winged flying dragon, also known as the violent flying dragon, was blessed with the characteristics of overconfidence. The last desperate counterattack caused a huge shock in the air. Energy of. This hidden feature is quite rare, but it is undeniable that having such a hidden feature will be of great help in the future. The power is in your own hands. Only the closed fist is the most deterrent, and this hidden characteristic of overconfidence is the deterrent in the future. Only. How should we plagiarize the hidden characteristics of the elf world? The regenerative power that Salted Fish King now possesses comes from Dudu, so how should this overconfidence be obtained? Yang Yu came to the library and reference room located in the Elf Alliance High School. He needed to find some documents about overconfidence. Little Dream Demon, come together and help me find it. The distance between the two rows of bookshelves in the library and reference room is relatively not very wide. If you wander out, will you get stuck here? Yang Yu scratched his head and quickly erased this messy thought. Information about the overconfidence of Gyarados, and the overconfidence of Gyarados, as well as the discovery and development of hidden characteristics. The little dream demon wanted to drag a thick book out, but it seemed to be very difficult. Even though he gritted his teeth and pulled it out, suddenly he lost his grip and the little guy flew out like a little black cloud. It hurts. The little dream demon touched her head where she had knocked it, and tears were about to fall. The little dream demon cried and pulled Yang Yu's hand, saying that it had found the book, but it couldn't take out the thick book at all. Yang Yu looked at the little guy who was aggrieved and wanted to comfort him, and immediately gently touched the place where the little dream demon's head hit. "How is it? Does it still hurt now? Don't cry, don't cry." The little dream demon's mood soon improved a lot. Detailed explanation of the characteristics of dragon elves. Yang Yu used the little black magic card to browse through the thick book in the data room, hoping to find some secrets about overconfidence in it. The overconfidence of Tyrannosaurus. The initial form of Tyrannosaurus is baby dragon. Baby dragon evolves into Carapaciosaurus. Carapaciosaurus is the second form. After evolution, it becomes Tyrannosaurus. From the baby dragon to the carapace dragon, they all have hard heads. Moreover, the baby dragon and the carapace dragon both have an extra name called the patient elf, which is the same as Guo Ranweng's classification. Gyrosaurus, like Gyarados, uses intimidation as its initial characteristic, and its hidden characteristic is overconfidence. There is currently a speculation. The crustacean longed to fly, and had always longed for a pair of strong wings to take it to the blue sky. For this reason, when it evolved, the realization of this dream made the evolved Tyrannosaurus become arrogant. The excessive character, that character, is overconfidence. Yang Yu flipped through the book with records of overconfidence, but these were all very ordinary news. "Hello, could you please help me borrow some information on how to cultivate the trait of overconfidence?" Yang Yu handed the black magic card to the staff again. "Sorry, you don't have permission." "Permissions?" Yang Yu was startled, but instead of looking disappointed because of no authority, his face became even more excited. No authority means that the Elf Alliance has such information. "Okay, thank you." Yang Yu was extremely excited. "Little dream demon, let's go." Seeing Yang Yu, who was in such a happy mood that he even spoke a lot louder, the little dream demon also straightened his back and followed behind with big strides. "I found that I couldn't even keep up with my master who was running so fast, so I still had to fly to the top of my master quickly. This card doesn't have enough permissions, but that old bastard must have enough permissions, right?" A picture of the old guy appeared in Yang Yu's mind, which made him want to have an elf battle. By the way, I don't know what happened to that old guy's Meng eclipse. Since the last time he ate his food randomly, he had diarrhea and turned into a pink sausage. Has he gained weight now? Although that old bastard has a bad temper, he is not a bad person. Also, Yang Yu was asked to go to the headquarters of the Demon City Elf Alliance to find him, but it seems that Yang Yu never went. By the way, I remembered it. I don't know where the dream-eating move flew to. "Little dream demon, have you already learned it?" Yang Yu mentioned casually, and he was actually convinced in his heart. It was the little dream demon who secretly learned to eat dreams using a learning machine. It can't be the Salted Fish King. The Salted Fish King is so big that the entire building might not be able to find it once it comes out. It can't be dull. It's even more impossible for Xiaoxiao. At that time, Xiaoxiao's size was probably only a little bigger than a learning machine. The little dream demon glanced at Yang Yu with a guilty conscience, then got off Yang Yu's hair and got into Yang Yu's arms. Hey, the little dream demon is wrong. Ask for a vote. Pokemon's Character Master. Author, AI Ren Huoqiang Xiao. Chapter 433. Ha 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 ha, it feels so good. It feels so good. Old Shitu, what are you looking at, so happy? At the headquarters of the Magic City Elf Alliance, Shi Dingmo was holding a screen in his hand, smiling broadly, stroking his almost bald beard and shaking his head. It's wonderful, it's wonderful. Those little bastards from Kyoto still have to obey when they come to our Magic City. Lao Mei, look, after these elf battles, which one didn't just push them? That's right. So comfortable. Mei Jinzi looked at old man Shi, who seemed to be 10 years younger for a moment, and shook his head helplessly. This old boy had a frown on his face a while ago and said this and that. Why doesn't that little bastard come? Did the brat finish eating and wipe his mouth and then forget about the matter? Now, tut, he was smiling again and shouting okay, okay again. What an old naughty boy. There is no doubt that what Shi Dingmo is watching is the video of the individual competition of the National College Student Elite Trainer Competition. This little bastard is so merciless and has the same demeanor as I did back then. Shi Dingmo shook his head with lingering thoughts. The corner of Mei Jinzi's mouth suddenly twitched, and she looked at Shi Dingmo with doubts. Old Shitu, I remember that the one who was pushed away by an elf, was you. The atmosphere in the room suddenly fell into dead silence. Shi Dingmo felt a pain in his jaw, lowered his head, and found that he had a bunch of beard in his hand. This was the beard that he had worked hard to save for a long time, and now he was pulling it out. Down. Mei Jinzi, I will fight with you. Old Shitu, let go quickly. You stinking stone. A pink-purple elf secretly floated out from above, and found that its owner seemed to have no time to take care of it. The little red eyes rolled around. Hey 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 hey. Old Shitu, if you don't let go, your Meng Eclipse will steal your inventory. Mei Jinzi's angry eyes suddenly glanced. The chubby piggy elf trembled for a moment, and secretly wanted to step on the little pig's trotters and grease them and run away. Meng Eclipse, stop. Shi Dingmo's eyes widened. Now he was not only more than 10 years younger, but as if he had returned to his teenage years. The fat pink-purple pig floating in the sky began to use Pig Rush in the Elf Alliance, followed by Old Man Shi who was chasing him. Madam, it was so scary. The price of pork has increased outside. If you feed it to Meng Eclipse, you won't lose money no matter what. Hey, I really envy Old Man Shi that at his age, his legs and feet are still so nimble. Mei Jinzi lowered her head and glanced at the flat screen left behind, watching the progress of the game, and couldn't help showing a satisfied look. This little magic card with a serial number starting with 0 was not given to the wrong person after all. This year's national the champion of the individual competition of the competition should be Yang Yu. No one can stop what comes after Dragon Dance. Xian, Xian King, are young people nowadays so willful in naming elves? If I were to call the elf a name like this, I would probably make a fuss. Shi Dingmo came back holding a string in his hand, like a flying pink and purple fat pig balloon. Meng Eclipse's red eyes were like water splashes, looking at her master with tears in her eyes. Master, have you forgotten? You call me Meng Shi Fat Piggy, and sometimes you call me Fat Piggy, but I don't even dare to fart. Meng Eclipse may have forgotten one thing. It only farts when it eats nightmares, and it is gas with an internal smell. Trainers of this age group really can't stop Yang Yu's Gyarados from using Dragon Dance. Moves that can eliminate ability enhancements are very precious in the Elf Alliance, and even if the elves of these trainers learn it, it's impossible to resist the impact of Gyarados moves. Mei Jinzi sighed. Hey, old man Zi, you are wrong about this. This is not a collision, this is called a salty fish thrust. Shi Dingmo shook his shoulders triumphantly. The name is quite fashionable, and it comes with a set of tricks. I really don't know who this little bastard learned this name from, it's really a mess. Mei Jinzi would not argue with Shi Dingmo. He knew that old man Shi was definitely trying to make him angry, so he would not be fooled. Does this kid have any grudge against Hu Jing from Yanjing Elf University? Why does Hu Jing look so bad? Moreover, Why is the neck of this Chinese Valentine's Day bluebird so dark? Shi Dingmo was stunned. Old man Zi, this guy, is the Chinese Valentine's Day bluebird, right? Before he finished speaking, a thick electric light flashed across the screen. Mei Jinzi glanced at Shi Dingmo, who was stunned. Meng Meng Eclipse, the fat pink and purple pig floating in the sky like a balloon, couldn't help but swallow his saliva. Roast, burnt. Now not only the neck, but the whole body has turned into a Tanabata black bird. Yang Yu. A shrill scream came from the battlefield of the national competition. That high-pitched scream gave many people goosebumps. On the battlefield, Hu Jing's Chinese Valentine's Day bluebird turned black again. Even Yang Yu couldn't help but feel a little sad for Hu Jing's Chinese Valentine's Day bluebird. The last time, it was scorched by the dragon's wrath. From the moment it came on stage, it was obvious that it was scorched by the dragon's wrath. Under the careful care of Hu Jing, the Chinese Valentine's Day bluebird has recovered more than half. Even during the flood rescue period, Hu Jing would use the elf-specific whitening skincare products to wipe the Kixie bluebird's body. Although the neck was still in the end and had not returned to the normal blue-green color, the Kixie bluebird's strength had been completely restored. From Kixie black the bird turns into a Chinese Valentine's Day bluebird, it's just a matter of how long it takes. Now, Hu Jing's Chinese Valentine's Day bluebird was electrocuted by the salty fish king's shot again. It's different from the last dragon's wrath. Under the command of Yang Yu, the salted fish king has become a battle machine with no emotion like Yang Yu. This feeling of pushing all the opponent's elves in one wave is simple and rough, allowing the salted fish king to feel an improvement in momentum. Especially when facing an opponent with a certain strength and defeating the opponent. Without the anger caused by pain, there would be no violent dragon's fury, so this move of a 100,000-volt electromagnetic gun spitting out from the mouth is more suitable than dragon's fury. You still don't feel that way? Yang Yu's eyes flickered. The reason why he directly sent out the salted fish king to bulldoze all the opponent's elves was because he wanted to try that simple idea in an elf battle. Regarding the speculation about the hidden characteristic of overconfidence, sometimes, this characteristic is hidden in a corner of the salty fish king's consciousness, and what conditions may be needed to trigger it. This is just a guess by Yang Yu. It just so happens that there are these powerful players in the competition who can try it out. It won't make any difference, and Yang Yu won't lose. Besides, in front of the 30 million prize money in the competition, Yang Yu couldn't have any feelings. I really don't know how to cherish the beauty, Hu Jingji, this is too difficult, but this is the fun. Lily Ying's eyes wandered in the stands, and she seemed to feel Hu Jing's mood of almost crying when looking at the Chinese Valentine's Day blackbird. Such an opponent will excite you, right, Koga Ninja? On the tip of Lily Sakura's umbrella, there was a shrunken poke ball that was constantly vibrating, as if it was about to appear from it. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Pokemon's Character Master. Author, AI Ren Huoqiang Xiao. Chapter 434. In the individual competition, no one can stop Yang Yu. That's true. This year's competition champion should be this freshman. Yes, Hu Jing, a player from Yanjing Elf University, is at least in the top 10 in terms of overall strength among all the elves, but he was still defeated by Yang Yu's giant Gyarados. Hard, too cruel. In the other group of players, Jiaotong University Zhang Huiyu lost to Yanjing Cai Xuanyi, Fudan Jin Yifei lost to Hangzhong Luo Feng lost to Cai Xuanyi lost to Wan Kai's Hu. Qingjing Zhang Kaixiang's Fang Land Shark has not evolved yet. It is a pity. If it can evolve into a biting land shark, it may have a chance to defeat Yang Yu. Yes, but the biting land shark is not that easy to raise. There are too few of these elves, and their energy requirements are a bit harsh. It will take at least several years to raise them. It's just that I still can't figure out how this freshman Yang Yu raised a Gyarados. He must be so good at raising it. I can't figure it out either. This is the last match of the individual competition in the national competition. Standing in the venue are the two players who will compete for the championship and runner-up honors this year, Yang Yu and Wan Kaizu. From the Forest Team competition to the present, including the Elf Secret Realm rescue during the individual competition, Yang Yu's strength as a trainer has caused most people to subconsciously ignore his status as a freshman. No one will underestimate him anymore. Many players even need to start looking up. Lao Zhang, I didn't expect that in this year's finals, an exchange student from your Jiaotong University would be playing the last elf battle with the chief student from your Jiaotong University. Jin Yifei did not tie her hair up today, but let her hair down. It hangs down to the shoulders like a waterfall. Zhang Huiyu smiled and shook his head. How could you have thought of this? I still remember that during Halloween, Jin Yifei, you said that when he was in his sophomore or junior year, Yang Yu would be the leader of the whole country. He became the man of the hour in the competition, and the result? Zhang Huiyu rarely changed his usual mature and steady demeanor. He looked at Jin Yifei narrowly like a newcomer participating in the national competition for the first time. Jin Yifei's face turned slightly red, and her tone became very rare and tender. How could I know this? After all, he is only a freshman. Yeah, it's nice to be young. Zhang Huiyu sighed in his heart. This is the brief happy time for these senior Sunset Red players in the national competition. After the competition, they will face graduation. Although it is not difficult for them to find a good job, they still want to continue as they are now, with partners who work hard for their grades and friends who can communicate with each other to cultivate elves. This is so rare. 4 years of college, time flies. I really don't want to see this national competition come to an end. Zhang Huiyu's expression suddenly froze. He lowered his head slightly and found that Jin Yifei was holding his hand. This is not the Zhang Shen I know. Why, do you really think you don't want to say anything to me if you don't win the championship? You owe me. At this time, Jin Yifei's face was red. What should I do? I seem to be a little sour. I'm so pitiful as a single person. I actually have to fight elves here. Wan Kaizu felt a little depressed. The holding hands of Lao Zhang and Jin Yifei lost the game but won love. Where is Lao Wan? Probably I could only cry while hugging Yang Yu here at the battlefield. Wan Kaizu, don't look at me. I think there's some evil intention in your eyes. Yang Yu subconsciously took a step back. If I lose later, can you lend me your shoulder to cry on? I'm so sad. Lao Jiangdu and Jin Yifei are holding hands, but I can only be here alone. Wan Kaizu, there was a somewhat sad and angry look on his face. Yang Yu smiled and pretended to think, if you give me your share of the bonus, I can lend you a shoulder. Wan Kaizu rolled his eyes. The champion is rewarded with 30 million elf coins, and the runner-up is also rewarded with 15 million. Your shoulder is too expensive. The shoulders of the national champion, come on, aren't 15 million worth it? Yang Yu deliberately took a step with his right foot and raised his right shoulder. The little dream demon suddenly felt that Master Yang Yu was so powerful. He could earn 15 million elf coins on his shoulders. If he recharged at a 50% discount, how many deducted coins could he exchange for? This wave is not a loss. Come and lean on me. If one click is not enough, you can also lean on your left shoulder, click on the left and click on the right, click click click, 30 million elf coins. The little dream demon counted on her fingers and almost fainted from happiness. I don't know if I can beat that giant Gyarados of yours, but let's start with a happy prank first. How about it? Wan Kaizu sighed. The referee's whistle has been blown. However, the situation on the scene seems to be a little different. Okay, Yang Yu also smiled. That was the first time Yang Yu met Wan Kaizu when he was an exchange student at Jiaotong University. Zhang Huiyu was also there at that time. Wang Kai's cursed doll was playing pranks with Yang Yu's little dream demon PK, and Zhang Huiyu's ghost stone was on the side. Cheers to both sides. Come out, cursed doll. The little dream demon, who was still lying on Yang Yu's hair, daydreaming and counting small coins, immediately rubbed his eyes and sat upright. It seems I smelled a very familiar scent. Gee. The head of the cursed doll is actually misplaced. It was as if it was separated from the neck, revealing the zippered mouth, and the eyes seemed to have a blood-red color. Hiss. Wang Kaizu and Yang Yu were both shocked at the same time. The referee, who was originally going to ask Yang Yu and Wang Kaizu to signal that they could summon the elf, slipped and fell to the ground. Damn it! This is a national competition. My butt hurts so much. It's over. My waist is sprained. I want to apply for a work-related injury from the union. It's a work-related injury. At this time, the cursed doll is like a ghost crawling out of the well of a horror movie, making a faint and terrifying sound. In the stands, Zhang Huiyu and Jin Yifei's expressions suddenly turned bad. Wang Kaizu, Yang Yu, Zhang Huiyu, will fight with you. If you two don't play the game well, you actually make a scary prank here. A purple ghost suddenly came out from behind Zhang Huiyu, and at the same time, he held a bunch of snacks from nowhere in his left hand. Melon seeds and drinks are sold in the front row. Go to the theater, watch a play, come watch a ghost movie. When a close-up of the cursed doll appeared on the large high-definition battle screen at the competition site, its bloody white eyes suddenly made many timid trainers cry. Whether they were men or girls, many stood up and turned around and ran away. 1. Some voices were trembling. The cursed doll's prank with terrifying effects is simply the pinnacle. At the headquarters of the Magic City Elf Alliance, Shi Dingmo, who was holding a flat screen to watch the last game of the national competition, suddenly shouted, and then there was the sound of something breaking. Immediately afterwards, a strange fart sound began to linger in the headquarters. Zi Lao, something bad is going on. Mo Lao's Meng 11 has diarrhea again. You little bastard, I'm not done with you, Shi Dingmo yelled. Pokemon's Character Master. Author, AI Ren Huo Xiangxiao. Chapter 435. The Little Dream Demon is so sad. This time in the prank competition, it lost. Wow. It's been a long time since I've studied how to scare people, and this time I lost to the cursed doll, woo woo woo. Hateful. The little dream monster will definitely not lose next time. Jajaja. The cursed doll's appearance quickly returned to its usual appearance. The curved zipper smile quickly wiped away the melancholy expression on its face. If it weren't for the gray and black color on its body, it would have looked white. Like a sunny day doll. Now, let's let the game begin. Wang Kaizu walked towards the other side of the field. Let me have a great time fighting in this national competition, the last 4 years of college. Yang Yu nodded happily, as you wish. You too, can you, give me a hand first? The referee swallowed his saliva and fell to the ground trembling. Yang Yu. Wang Kaizu. Gardevoir, this first battle is up to you. Sana. Wang Kaizu signaled Gardevoir to use her superpower to help the referee sit on a stool from the ground, and then seriously handed the playing field to her. This Gardevoir evolved from the Larulas that he and Zhang Huiyu brought back from the top elven secret realm. The cultivation time during this period was not the longest among all the elves in Wang Kaizu, but the talent and skill proficiency of the moves, but he is the most outstanding among all elves. Wang Kaizu's Gardevoir, Salted Fish King, I leave it to you. Roar. Without any hesitation, a giant Gyarados with a length of more than 10 meters appeared in the venue. Its bright blue body was exquisite and glittering in the venue. Gardevoir, start with meditation. King Salted Fish, interrupt Gardevoir's meditation. Wang Kai's gardevoir, with its heart-shaped pink skirt, is super dazzling. Facing Yang Yu's Salted Fish King, Wang Kai's knew very well that if he wanted to use special moves to break through the Salted Fish King's defense and cause damage to him, he must temporarily increase the level of Gardevoir's special attack, and he must not let the Salted Fish King complete a dance of the dragons. The practicality of teleportation in elf battles is indeed impressive, but this is not absolute, because Yang Yu's Salted Fish King, once a dragon dance is completed, the increased speed, coupled with the original action speed, 1 moment vs 1 moment, it was just a moment. Wang Kai's would not leave his expectations in the hands of his opponent. Magic leaves, disrupt Gyarados' sight. In the venue, the sky is full of flying leaves, just like in autumn, after a strong wind, the leaves fall and form flying obstacles in the sky. Sana. Gardevoir's skirt immediately lifted up in the gust of wind. Meditation. What a magic leaf move, what a move to block the line of sight. Wang Kai's elf battle has taken into account some of the characteristics of the move. The dazzling magic leaves can block the Gyarados' line of sight, thereby providing a barrier for Gardevoir in the field. Meditate. By time, Luo Feng's eyes lit up. Captain Luo, don't forget, Gyarados, control the wind, Wang Yuqian on the side said calmly. Sure enough, when the magic leaves were floating all over the sky, an even stronger wind blew around the Salted Fish King, and a tornado swept towards Gardevoir. These scattered leaves in the air were swept away in the tornado. Soaring upwards, the target, Gardevoir. Sana. With a flash of purple light, Gardevoir moved instantly. However, the next second, the Salty Fish King's giant tail with shining scales immediately swung away towards the point where Gardevoir teleported. What? How can it find the trajectory of teleportation? Is this a prediction? Wang Kai's pupils shrank. Yang Yu's reaction to the Gyarados suddenly made his heart skip a beat. How could this be possible? Gardevoir immediately raised his hands and quickly set up a reflective shield in the space, and then moved instantly again. Wow! The sound of the wall shattering was heard in the air, but immediately after, the Salted Fish King not only did not stop after swiping its giant tail, but locked in another direction. In the pupils, a trace of crystal yellow electric light lit up. I found you. At this moment, the center of Lariola's skirt changed from pink and purple, to pink and gray. When pink and gray are intertwined, the entire battlefield emits a strong and dazzling cold light. The powerful special move of the fairy type, Magic Sparkle. It's so bright that I can't even see the moves clearly. If you have an elf battle under a moonlit environment at night and use the power of the moon. I'm thinking too much. Only gym-level elves can use the power of the moon. This requires a lot of strength from the elves. But Wang Kai's Gardevoir has mastered the magic of shining. Look, then, what is that? When the shining white light of magic enveloped the entire elf battlefield, a yellow beam of light appeared in the white light that seemed to pierce the white light into pieces. Boom! The giant blue body leaped up, and a beam of light of 100,000 volts of electricity bombarded the field. The field, under the bombardment of powerful electric shocks, rocks of all sizes were shaken up. In the field, almost full. The next second, the impactful giant body headed towards the ground, like a spinning bomb, like a spinning cyclone bomb, leaping heavily on the field. The ultimate kill with a splash of water, cyclone bomb. The cracked gravel on the ground began to form a terrifying whirlwind sandstorm in the venue, completely shattering the magic shine move. The white light flashes and the dust settles. Gardevoir was injured and fell to the ground. The Salted Fish King was in the air, calmly looking at the fallen elf on the ground. There was a faint pain in his body that was burned by the magic. Anger begins to ignite. Come back, Gardevoir, you've done a great job, Wang Kai's looked calm and horrified. If he had seen it right, Yang Yu's giant Gyarados made that move on the field. A bit, like water splashing? Use the electricity element to split the ground, and at the same time use water splash to shake up the gravel on the ground. At the same time, there is also the assistance of a tornado. This move is so terrifying. Change venue. Wan Kai's-Hu made his decision decisively. Now the venue is riddled with holes. If Yang Yu's Salted Fish King uses the same trick again, the venue is randomly formed. At this time, the venue is half soft sand and half pool. The referee randomly announced the conditions of the next round of venues. From an ordinary battlefield to a semi-soft sand and semi-pool, it seems to be no different from the current situation, let alone changing. It doesn't seem to matter to me. Wan Kai's-Hu secretly shook his head. This piece together the venue will not be of much help to the upcoming battle. Just pretend it hasn't changed and continue fighting. Have you noticed the biggest advantage of Yang Yu, the giant Gyarados? Hangzhong Wang Yuqian's eyes suddenly lit up. Advantage? The advantage is that you are really good at fighting. Xia Yuya couldn't tell how envious she was of Yang Yu's Gyarados Dragon Fury. Wow, that's really thick. Her little dragon is still a mini dragon. Elf, Dragon's Wrath, is just like Bubble Light, and its moves are particularly soft. What I want to say is that this giant Gyarados, you haven't noticed, is very durable in every game. It seems that many elves are killed by one move. After this wave of team push, of course it will last a long time to fight several of them. Captain Luo Feng felt that this problem was a bit puzzling. Wang Yuqian shook his head, then looked left and right, lowered his voice and whispered, "Come here, let me tell you a little secret." What secret? Hangzhong and his team of players all started to gather together. Yang Yu's Gyarados can eat an energy cube worth 300,000 elf coins in one meal, Wang Yuqian shared, with a little pride in her eyes. But she was the only one who knew the secret. 3 energy cubes worth 300,000 elf coins. What a meal! So scary. Xia Yuya took a breath of air and began to count the seeds on her fingers with her head lowered. It's enough for my mini dragon to eat for a long time, at least many months. You mean? Luo Feng seemed to understand. Although his Gyarados eats more than other elves, it is normal for its size. But this is not worth 300,000 yuan for a meal. That, I remember. When I first started military training in my freshman year, that one was very delicious when I was Carp King, Xia Yu added. I have to give the elf more food when I get back. Wang Yuqian said quietly. Yes, increase the amount of food you eat. Luo Feng suddenly felt that this was a very good idea. Why are we so weak? It's not because the elves don't eat enough. Salted Fish King, the last move is to serve. In the field, there is a grey armored rhinoceros, which is the last elf in Wan Kai's-Hu. When the Salty Fish King's Dragon Fury bombarded the iron armored rhino, the latter still stood tall. The Salty Fish King's body brought all the half of the pond water with him, raising his charging head. Collision. The water overflows the Golden Mountain. Congratulations Yang Yu. The champion of the National College Student Elite Trainer Competition Finals, comes from the Hangcheng Elf University of Electronic Science and Technology, and is a freshman, trainer Yang Yu. Roar. The Salted Fish King roared to the sky. The winner takes all. Hey, it's time to choose an elf. Pokemon's Character Master. Author, AI Ren Huo Xiao. Chapter 436. Old Stone, slow down, slow down. Old Man Zi, please hurry up. It's not fun to stay in the Elf Alliance. No, Old Shitu, it's useless for you to run so fast. Your dream eclipse can't take you to teleport. Old Man Zi, if you say one more shit word, me, I will fight you. How can you fight me if you don't have one main elf, and you can't beat me? Old Man Zi, shut up. If you talk again, I will take my armored bird without you. Old Shitu, You see, although it is spring today, the temperature is too low now. Then why don't you hurry up and let your demon fire red fox come out? I'll call you now, I'll call you now, why are you in such a hurry? What a bad temper. The fun of bickering is not something outsiders can appreciate. As she got older, sometimes Magenza would feel a little uncomfortable if she didn't hear old man Shi's angry voice. Magenza happily took out a pokeball from her pocket, and soon, the demon fire red fox with a flame crutch appeared in front of them. The next second, the figures of the two old men disappeared at the door of the Magic City Elf Alliance headquarters. Yang Yu, Wang Kaizhu, and Cai Swanyi, 3 contestants, please wait a moment. Next, it is time for the 3 of them to choose and prepare the elf eggs. Zhang Qiuchen, president of Fudan Elf University, came to the award podium. At the same time, there were 3 elf eggs quietly placed on the mobile booth behind him. The elf egg of the round land shark, mixed with dark blue and brown. Tijapai's elf eggs are bright white and light yellow with some red and blue triangles. Ryalu's elf egg is silvery and dark brown. Under the reflection of the glass, the true appearance of the 3 elf eggs was displayed in front of all the trainers. Really, it looks completely different from the elf eggs outside. The color seems to be a little more pure. Look, the dark blue elf egg of the round land shark looks like a little star. Come on, that's the reflection from the glass. Although it's magnified on the screen, it's not from close range. So envious. Envy add 1. Lao Wen, how about a bet, which elf egg do you think Yang Yu will choose? Hong Kong issued an invitation from the stands. Okay, no problem, Wenren Fang Chen was also somewhat interested. Just like the last time Gao Mao and he bet on ice cream, although Gao Mao is still working in rescue work, the memories are still good. The round shark, Tijapai, and Ryalu. To be honest, all 3 are good, but based on my understanding of Yang Yu, I definitely choose the round shark. There's nothing to argue with, Hong Kong said first. When Ren Fang Chen smiled softly, it's not that simple. It's probably not easy to choose the round shark. Now that Gyarados is here, the round shark has an elf-like and aggressive personality, so it's probably going to be a bit noisy by then. Then, you choose Tijapai, Hong Kong suddenly felt a little panicked. What Lao Wen said made sense. Tijapai may not be possible. Yang Yu now has a little dream monster, so I think Ryalu is more likely. Yang Yu's lineup lacks some fighting moves. If we consider the future, this one is better, of course, in my opinion. When Ren Fang Chen thought for a while. Why don't you think about it? Just choose the round land shark. The power of the biting land shark cannot be overshadowed. You little bastard, what are you doing so slowly? In a corner of the stands, 2 old men appeared. Old Shitu, it's not you who chose the elf egg, so what's the use of giving random instructions? Magenza smiled and pushed Shi Dingmo's shoulder. Why is it useless? If he chooses the round land shark, I will use all my resources to help him evolve the round land shark into the biting land shark. Do you still need to choose these 3 elf eggs? Shi Dingmo stared at old man Zi. I think he is more likely to choose Tijapai. Magenza smiled faintly. He dares. A grown man can choose any Tijapai. If he's a man, he can choose round shark, or Ryalu. Anyway, if this little bastard dares to choose Tijapai, I will break up with him. Shi Dingmo started blowing his nose and staring. We can't interfere when he chooses his future elf partner. Old Shitu, you'd better save it. Does it mean that if he chooses Tijapai, you really don't care about him anymore? Magenza suppressed a smile in her heart. Every time Shi Dingmo speaks harshly, he will definitely turn into a really sweet old man in the end. That's right. Shi Dingmo's tone softened and he put his hands on his knees. Anyway, I don't like fairies. Is it because of restraining the dragon? Magenzi understood why Shi Dingmo said this. Perhaps it was an incident in the secret realm more than 10 years ago that made old man Shi have a certain prejudice against elves of the fairy type. Shi Dingmo didn't say anything. Obviously, he didn't want to continue talking about this topic. Yang Yu, Wan Kaizhu, and Cai Xuanyi looked carefully at the 3 elf eggs carefully cultivated from Fudan Elf University. It must be said that the temptation of the 3 elf eggs made them really want to keep them to themselves. No matter which one is cultivated under the conditions they have now, it will not be bad. Yang Yu, I'll start with you first. You can put your palms on the elf eggs and close your eyes. Maybe you can choose the one you want most, Zhang Qiuchen, the president of Fudan Elf University, said with a smile. Yang Yu held his breath. This is the advantage of the champion. He can touch 3 elf eggs at the same time and feel them with his heart. While Wan Kaizhu only had 2 elf eggs that he could reach out to touch, Cai Xuanyi had no last choice. Perhaps, there are some fluctuations that others may not be able to feel, but Yang Yu will definitely be able to. Haven't seen you for a long time. Yang Yu closed his eyes and sighed in his heart. His mind was filled with darkness, with a little bit of golden light flickering in it. Yuan Lu Shark, the king of physical attack ability, is an elf who likes to fight for victory. Yang Yu's mind, vaguely felt a majestic collision challenge. That's the Salted Fish King. The Salty Fish King's power makes Yang Yu unsuitable for cultivating round land sharks. The next second, the corners of Yang Yu's eyes rose slightly, but Yang Yu's expression did not show any fluctuations. He was calm and continued to feel the next elf egg. Dragon Claw. This is a very good move. Start with Ryalu. Ryalu will be a very diligent and loyal elf in the future. Yang Yu felt a calm aura from Ryalu's elf egg. The faint aura of life in the elf egg seemed to be paying curious attention to Yang Yu's palm. However, this Ryalu seems a little different from what he imagined. Perhaps it's the rare hidden trait of mischief. Yang Yu was secretly frightened. The elf egg might not be able to be felt by other people, but Yang Yu used his serious emotions to have a conscious communication with the Ryalu elf egg who knew the wave guide. Wave guide, consider it. When Yang Yu calmly put his hand on Tijapai's elf egg, suddenly, his head felt like it exploded. Ah 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 ah. Cry. Cry hard. The gray line of addiction in Yang Yu's mind became extremely bright at this moment. The future prediction obtained from Lao Huidi came to light. Tijapai, it's up to you. I have decided, I choose this Tijapai elf egg. Yang Yu's voice sounded extremely surprised in the venue. 3 elf eggs, but I didn't expect that this elf egg from Tijapai could light up the hidden future. But Yang Yu has another question. This is still the elf egg period. You, how can you cry so much? When the news fed back from the Tijapai elf egg entered Yang Yu's consciousness, Yang Yu fell silent. The dragon claw of the round land shark. Ryalu wave guides understanding. Tijapai's cry. Goldfinger. Why the hell are you doing, color at this time? Degree. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Pokemon's Character Master. Author, Ai Ren Huoqiang Xiao. Chapter 437. Yang Yu actually chose Tijapai. I thought he would choose the round land shark. Me too. Although the round shark is a little more difficult to raise, Yang Yu can even raise such a big Gyarados, so the round shark will definitely be fine. He actually chose Tijapai. Oh, Tijapai is so cute. Damn it, I promised that the macho man would choose Ryalu. Hong Kong and Wen Renfang Chen glanced at each other. The two felt a little embarrassed for a moment. They communicated silently in their eyes and didn't mention a word about the ice cream, as if it had never happened. Regardless of the result of the selection, the contestants can only be envious. As for jealousy, the game is a game, and in the subsequent games, it will be a fight between gods. Even if these three people do not get the elf egg, it will not be their turn. Anyway. That's it for being sour. You little bastard, why would you choose Tigipai's elf egg? Shi Dingmo slapped his thigh hard, his eyes suddenly widened, and he hugged the place where his thigh had just been attacked in distress. Mei Jinzi was quite happy to see Yang Yu choose Tigipai. The elves of this race have always been relatively mysterious in the research of the Elf Alliance, as if they were under the care of the god of luck. No matter how you say it, the 3 elf eggs awarded by Fudan Elf University in this national competition are very precious in the entire history of the competition. Old Shitu, look away, this Pokebee is no weaker than the other 2 elves, Mei Jinzi comforted the stinky old man Shi Dingmo didn't want to talk, and Mei Jinzi didn't continue to be angry with him, so she just let him sulk on his own. It wouldn't take long for him to think about it. Mr. Yang Yu felt that when he picked up the Tigipai elf egg from the glass booth, the little guy inside the egg was crying and fussing. Although the elf egg had not hatched yet, there was always that kind of crying in his mind. The sound of bang. At this time, the little dream demon stretched out its hand. Obviously, as a ghost elf, it also felt the life movement in the elf egg, and slapped Yang Yu's hair with a small fist. The elf egg seemed to be shocked. At this moment, I stopped crying. Yang Yu also felt the movement of the elf egg. He raised his head and glanced at the little dream demon. Does it seem like the little dream demon is helping him appease the Tigipai elf egg? Good guy. Little dream demon, it seems that Tigipai's elf egg is very destined for you. When I get back, the elf egg will be handed over to you. Ying ying ying. The little dream demon's eyes were stunned, and her little hands were drooped. I don't have it, don't talk nonsense. How could this be fate? After returning to an egg incubator with a glass shell, the reaction of the elf egg immediately became much smaller, as if it had entered a warm nest, and began to murmur and hibernate. As Zhang Qiuchen, the president of Fudan Elf University, announced the end of the national competition, all the trainers left the battlefield one after another. Old Shitu, if you don't chase me, I'm afraid I'll have to get back on the school bus to go back to Hangzhou. Mei Jinzi quickly pushed Shi Dingmo next to her. This little bastard didn't know how to come to the headquarters of the Magic City Elf Alliance to find me. Really, I have to personally go out and subdue this little bastard. Shi Dingmo curled his lips. He had long forgotten what he said before, you can beat him to death. If you don't chase me, then there are some young people here who have to chase them when they should. Mei Jinzi shook her head, this old guy is just tough talking. Little bastard, wait, stop, don't run. Yang Yu suddenly heard an inexplicably familiar voice from behind that made him feel like he was having trouble with his back. Damn it, isn't that old bastard? This year has passed long ago. With the new year and new atmosphere, the old bastard's running skills seem to have improved significantly. Stop. Damn old man, you are so mean, you have to be a fool to stop. At this time, the campus of Fudan Elf University was like a holy land for cultivating immortals. Shi Dingmo, an elder of the Elf Alliance sect, was chasing an unfilial disciple. He had the momentum to expel the evil disciple from the school, and he was followed by Elder Mei Jinzi was trying to make old man Shi stop being so irritable. Isn't that, Yang Yu? Why is he being chased by 2 old men? I don't know, could it be? What is it? Touch porcelain. What the hell, have you ever seen an old man running so fast? The 2 old men Mei Jinzi and Shi Dingmo, Zhang Huiyu, Wang Kaizhu and other trainers from the top elf universities in the Demon City are familiar with each other, and have even been lucky enough to see them, but they have never seen such an operation. Yang Yu was finally defeated. He was holding an elf egg in his hand. If he hadn't protected the egg, how could Yang Yu have been caught by the old bastard? The old bastard definitely knows his timing, damn it. You little bastard, run, keep running, try running again, she Dingmo, will never admit defeat. Old man, she quickly found a stool at the bus stop next to the school and waved. Little bastard, come here quickly, I haven't seen you for a long time, and you didn't come to the Magic City Elf Alliance to find me. The little dream demon felt the spring breeze on Yang Yu's head. This was the first time it discovered that this mount named Yang Yu beast, actually ran a little fast. Ying ying ying. The little dream demon lowered its head, thinking of a mission it might have in the future. The little dream monster doesn't want to take care of a baby. The little dream monster is still so young, but the dam owner actually lets it carry the elf egg. Oh wow, the little dream monster is miserable. Yang Yu didn't know the current psychological activities of the little dream demon. When he saw such an arrogant old bastard, it just so happened that he could ask about the hidden characteristic of overconfidence. Little bastard, it's great to see you win the national competition. Shi Dingmo's face that looked like a fierce old man was gone, and now he felt calm. This young trainer who activated the zero sequence little magic card now has the demeanor of a future master. Old bastard, you are the same. You can run like this. It seems that you are in good health. That's good. Yang Yu put the egg incubator on his lap and reached out to hug it. Well, I'm not in good health. How can I catch up with you, a little bastard? Shi Dingmo raised his chin and squeaked. This old man doesn't even have a few beards anymore, but he still looks so arrogant. By the way, let me tell you something. You should have seen a lot of foreign trainers in the national competition these days, right? 4 months later, that is, in early August this year, you, the powerful players in the national competition, may have to wear off to the World Island, which is an artificial island in the Pacific. I won't go into details about it, someone will tell you. Shi Dingmo smiled, with a little more concern between his brows. It's almost the end of March and the beginning of June. There is another opportunity to go to the top elven secret realm to obtain resources. When the time comes, seize the opportunity. Old bastard, can I ask you something? Yang Yu felt a little warm in his heart. This feeling was wonderful. Although the two people called each other old bastard and little bastard, they were happy. In it? Tell me, you ask first. Some things may not necessarily be answered. Shi Dingmo smiled. I want to ask about overconfidence, the hidden characteristic of elves. Shi Dingmo and Mei Jinzi glanced at each other. Sure enough, they had not guessed this situation. Just like before. A young trainer who owns a Tyrannosaurus. Just this thing. Not easy to say. After you go back, use little magic card's number to log into the Demon City Elf Alliance intranet, and there will be encrypted messages from someone. Shi Dingmo paused. I'm overconfident. It's not that I didn't expect it. It's just that this hidden characteristic, if controlled well, is like a sharp sword. It is only used against enemies and not friends. But if it is not controlled well, it can be a deadly weapon. Shi Dingmo was still condensing. The power itself is not scary. What is scary is its owner. Mei Jin's side, the elf world itself still has some unknowns. Whether it is dangerous or safe, we have no way of knowing. Yes, the future belongs to young people, not to us old bastards. You're an old bastard, I'm not. Can you please not add another one to your list? No. The little dream demon is raising a baby. Pokemon's character master. Author, AI Ren Huoqiang Xiao. Chapter 438. Ah, so cute. Yang Yu's little dream demon is taking his little sister out for a walk again. It's still an elf egg. Ah, elf eggs are so cute. The little dream monster is so cute, holding the rope in his hand and dragging the stroller. He is really good at carrying elf eggs. I cried again. I think of the dude king who brought Yang Yu food in the cafeteria last time. This time, another little dream monster came to bring Yang Yu a baby. Woohoo, I'm sore. I can suck the little dream monster again. This was 2 weeks after Yang Yu returned to school, after Qingming Festival. On the day when the national competition ended, when the all-star team returned to school after going to the national competition, all the trainers in the school were excited. At least. Before this Qingming Festival, Yang Yu didn't even dare to eat in the canteen. The last time I went there, the aunt in the cafeteria was eager to serve him more food. She even wanted to poke her head out and ask Yang Yu if he had a girlfriend, if his aunt knew anyone here, etc. Not to mention, Yang Yu has now brought back another elf egg, and it is Tijipai, the cute little elf that no girl can resist. Although he has not broken out of his shell yet, but even if it is an egg, it is beautiful. Girls or something. They're all big pig's hooves, so scary. To be honest, Tijipai's elf eggs are almost impossible to find on the market, and the only way to see what they look like is by looking for pictures online. So, even if a chicken hatches from Tijipai's elf egg, before the shell is broken, it is also beautiful. At least, as beautiful as you can imagine. Ranking first in individual points in the National Forest Team competition and winning the overall championship in the National Individual competition are 2 firsts. For the entire Hangcheng Elf University of Electronic Science and Technology, this is a major event in the history of the school and can be recorded. Yang Yu probably wouldn't have thought that he would be recorded in the school history at such a young age. It can probably be called a living fossil. Yang Yu will not forget that when Principal Jin Xiaodong held a banquet to celebrate for their group that day, his face was flushed, and his mouth opened loudly. Perhaps if they had not achieved such results in the national competition, they might have spent their entire lives. I can't see the principal of a school being so happy. As the leader in making history, Yang Yu is once again making waves in the school. This is no longer a matter for girls in 1 grade, at least, it is for 4 grades, and it is even said that there are graduate students and doctoral students. Yang Yu couldn't bear it anymore. You should go and cry one by one. Fortunately, there was a tomb sweeping day holiday in between, otherwise it would be a bit difficult for Yang Yu to travel. Spring in Hangzhou is always so poetic and picturesque. Being in the south of the Yangtze River, it has its own Jiangnan. The campus is full of birds and flowers, and it's a unique experience to go out for a walk. The little dream demon was carrying a small shoulder bag slumped around her waist. She was holding a rope in her hand, and behind the rope was a 4-wheeled car. Inside the trolley, there is a firmly fixed glass egg incubator. Inside, a delicate Tijipai elf egg lies smoothly and comfortably inside. Suddenly, a small fish emerged from the glass container. Huja huji. This is a renovated glass egg incubator. It can adjust the appropriate water temperature to give the elf eggs the best temperature and humidity. The little fish is just right. It follows inside the egg incubator and looks at the egg that has not yet broken out of its shell. Little life. Sing to it. The little dream demon pouted, wiped the sweat from his forehead, and looked down at the pedometer he took out of his small satchel. I took another 5,685 steps today. Well. Earned another 568.5 deducted coins. The little dream demon didn't quite understand why the owner gave it a pedometer, and didn't know why it had to walk. However, when the owner said that walking 10 steps can exchange for 1 deduction coin, the little dream monster's eyes immediately lit up with little stars. Isn't it just for taking care of a baby? Little dream demon can take care of 10 more. It was the little dream demon's choice to take the little fish out to play. Moreover, the little dream demon discovered that the scales on the little fish's body still had a little golden light under the sun. They looked pretty. The little dream demon held the baby stroller in her hand and kept walking. In order to make the owner's small money return to 0, the little dream demon must work hard and walk 1 more step is 1 step. Squeak, squeak, squeak. The wheels and axles of the stroller made the sound of rollers rubbing together, and together with the little dream monster, it slowly moved on the road. On a lawn where the little dream monster couldn't see, blocked by bushes, Dudu was leaning against the rockery with the supersonic bat sunglasses that Yang Yu bought for him during the Halloween Ghost Festival. Holding a cup of fruit milk tea with a straw. Click, click. A carp king that had just been dropped by Dede's tail in the pan pond looked longingly at Gilugulu Dede drinking fruit milk tea. Yeah. He scratched the back of his head blankly and picked up the carp king who had the chance to bite his tail. Feed it fruit milk tea. As for the little dream demon, it's always safe on the road. The Dede bodyguard is always by your side. Yang Yu, why do you want to let the little dream demon lead the four-wheeled car to play outside? This is too cute. Hong Kong was in the bedroom, staring at an elf egg on the table. After returning from the national competition, Hong Kong, like Wen Ren Fang Chen, both bought an elf egg. In 403, the three people in the dormitory all started raising eggs of their own. No, I just want to promote the relationship between the little dream demon and the new elf. Also, the weather is really good now. It would be good to go out for more walks with the elf eggs. Yang Yu lay on the bed, not to mention how comfortable it is. Lao Wen, if your chicken is born, how should you raise it? Hong Kong asked with a smile. Fire chicken? I do have some ideas, but if I want to raise a strong chicken in the future, I might go to the Fighters Alliance in Guangdong province to have a look. After all, this is also a kind of fighting elf. It needs to be proficient in some fighting techniques. Wenren Fang Chen thought for a moment and said. Hong Kong, you can also let your duckling take Bulbasaur's elf eggs out for a walk. This is a good time for all things to grow. What's more, the sun will be strong soon. If you control the temperature, it will be good for you. Your grass elf eggs will also be helpful. If I go out with Wenren Fang Chen, what about you? Hong Kong asked with a smile. There's a little dream demon here to help with the journey. Yang Yu still has some feelings about the game of hatching elf eggs. In the game, hatching eggs is determined by the number of steps. So one step taken by the little dream demon's little feet should be counted as one step, right? The gap between Yang Yu's step and little dream demon's step is not usually huge. Of course, this is just a little bit of bad taste in Yang Yu's heart. After all, this is the real world of elves. More importantly, Yang Yu is still subtly changing some of the views of the little dream demon, or leading the growth of the little dream demon. After all, not all elves are perfect. The little dream demon is still young. On this growth path, he will meet many, many other elves. The little dream demon can accept Xiao Baobao, and can also help Yang with the elf ball. Yu captures Xiao Baobao. It shows that Yang Yu is very, very heavy in the little dream demon's heart. And the little dream demon is very heavy in Yang Yu's heart, and can't be separated. Predict the future. Yang Yu gently closed his eyes.